McKinnon, and I'm the Director of Graduate Admissions here at Troy University. I have the pleasure of introducing our speakers today, Ms. Lauren Cole and Emily Reese. Lauren Cole serves as our Coordinator of Career Services for Troy University and has been in her role since 2011. As Coordinator of Career Services, her duties include assisting Troy students and alumni throughout career pathing, resume review, interviewing, and networking. Lauren has her MBA and is currently pursuing her PhD in global leadership. Alongside Lauren is Emily Reese. Emily is a career counselor in the Office of Career Services at Troy. Emily is passionate about helping students explore their career interests throughout self-exploration, professional development, and networking opportunities. Emily has her bachelor's degree in communications and a master's degree in student affairs counseling. Thank you again both for being here today. I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Emily to get us started.
All right, hello everyone. Thank you again for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and get started by sharing my screen with you guys and then diving into our PowerPoint to get us started. So today we're kind of going to have a two-part presentation for you. The first thing we're going to do is talk about major exploration, how to make sure you're in the right field, and really start to learn some of the majors that we offer here at Troy. And then we'll dive into the career planning portion, how to research careers and find the best option for you. So the whole theme of the presentation that you'll hear me talk a lot about is know your VIPs. And what I mean by that is know your values, your interests, personality, and skills. I'm going to weave this in and out through the presentation, but just keep that in mind. So when we're thinking about choosing your major and what that looks like, I just want to reassure you that it's okay to change your major. Actually, 80% of students will change their major more than once while they're in college. And oftentimes, we're going to see that students will change their major up to 2 or 3 times. And there's a couple of reasons for this that we'll kind of talk through. So first, maybe whenever students or you guys are filling out your admissions applications, you just haven't thought through all of your options or you didn't know what was available. And so if you're like me or most other students, you might just select a random major that sounds interesting and not really put a lot of thought into it. Other times, students will want to change their major when they start thinking about different options, when they start looking at their values, interests, personality, and skills, figuring out what their passions are and what that's going to look like in their future career. Another reason is students might choose a career that's more practical or something that's going to help them pay the bills. So you might come in really ambitious about a certain field and then through taking a few classes or through some research, realize that it's not really going to be the best fit for you, your family, and your needs. And then other times we'll see that students will listen to outside influence on what careers they should go into. So we'll elaborate on that a little bit here. So thinking about if you've already chosen your major, what helped you choose that? And then, how do we come in contact with different major options? So the first thing that comes to mind is TV. And so I know a lot of us like to watch television. We like to watch the medical shows or the courtroom shows. And we think that what is shown on TV is actually going to be the way it's going to be in real life. And usually there's a big disconnect. And so, working in a medical field might not be as exciting as they make it sound on some of these TV shows. Sometimes we'll listen to our friends and what majors they're suggesting for us or what they think sounds cool. But if they aren't actually helping us think through our VIPs, then they might not be the best source of knowledge either. Another really common way is using your life interactions. So thinking about times when you've gone to the dentist or a physical therapist or an eye doctor or your time back in school with your teachers. A lot of times people will say, well, I was really impacted by someone in a physical therapy field, for example, so I think that's what I would like to do. But it's important to think about, do you actually know what their job is like and some of the things that they're going to do on a daily or weekly basis. And then finally, our parents will usually have big input on what we decide to do. Sometimes their suggestions are going to be helpful, or sometimes we might feel more cornered into a major that they're pressuring on us. So we kind of want to think about these things, know that influences are not bad overall, but understand how can we really make sure that we're making the best decision for ourselves. So that brings us to our 3 stages that we're going to walk through today. So stage 1, self-exploration, and stage 2, career options. That's going to be what I'm going to talk to you about, and then Ms. Cole will come on and kind of talk to you more about stage 3 and planning your goals in your future. So with stage number 1, self-exploration, that's really going to tie in those values, interests, personality, and skills that I was talking to you about. So thinking about trying to figure out how to make that decision, we want to think about what are some things that are important to me? What am I good at? What are my strengths and my weaknesses? So we want to think through some things that you enjoy doing. That's going to be useful. We'll find that people are most successful in their careers when they wake up every day and do something that they actually like and enjoy. Another thing we want to keep in mind are your values. And so there's a couple different things we can mean by this. One, you want to think through your personal or your core values. What are things that are just really important to you as a person? But then what are you going to value in the workplace? Do you want leisure time to have with your family? Do you value making a lot of money? Do you value working with other people, working with technology, so on and so forth, things like that. What motivates you? What's going to make you excited every day to wake up and go to work? What's going to keep you going, for years down into your career? And then this one's kind of tough sometimes, but thinking about what skills do I possess? What am I good at? And what skills do I need to polish before I can go into the major or career field that I'm interested in? So all of that brings us into stage number 2, where we really want to spend some time exploring our career options. And so we want you to think about majors and what Troy University offers, but we also want you to think further on down the road. What career am I interested in? What types of jobs and job titles sound appealing to me? And then what education requirements do I need to make sure I have before I apply for these jobs? So a couple of questions that you might want to start thinking about and researching. What are some examples of careers in my chosen major? So your major is so important, and it will be for the next 4 to 5 years. But then after that, you'll enter into your career, and so you want to know what are my options with the majors that I'm thinking about. It's a really great idea to start exploring some job titles and see what is interesting to you. Look for key terms, and just think about, can I see myself in this role in a day-to-day setting? And then think about, like I mentioned before, what type of work environment do I enjoy? Do I want an 8 to 5 desk job? Do I want something that's a little more flexible? Do I like working outdoors? Do I want fast paced or something that's more relaxed? Thinking about the overall fit of that work environment. And then, so you might be thinking about all of this and say, okay, well, where do I go? How can I start researching some of my interests to find the best fit for me? So that's going to bring us to our next portion. We're going to dive into a resource we have here at Troy University called Career Coach. So I'll click on this link here and bring us over into the website. And so you'll see a couple different things that you can do on Career Coach. You can take a career assessment, browse certain career fields, and then browse programs that we offer here at Troy University. I'm going to always encourage you to start with taking the career assessment first. So you'll just click this button over here. It will have you create a login really quickly. So you will do that, and then you'll be all set to be able to take these assessments. You'll see 2 options. You will see that you can take a short assessment or a detailed assessment. I'm going to take us through the quick assessment today, but if you're doing this on your own, I highly suggest that you choose the 60-question one to get more details about your interests. So whenever you're taking these assessments, you don't really need to think about, do I have the education or training to complete this right now? It's really, are you interested in these fields in general? So I'm just going to click through these really quickly. And again, you would be able to do this by yourself at home. All right, so you'll see it was pretty fast to get through, and then it's going to generate some results for us. And so it's really going to talk to us about our work interest. What are we going to be interested in doing in that career in the future? So you'll get to read about some of your results. So I can read about what does it mean to be enterprising, what does it mean to be social, and you can also download your full results here, and it will pull up some good examples for you as far as career fields that you may want to go into and majors that we offer here at Troy. So you'll be able to save this for yourself and have a quick reference and a guide, especially if you're talking to someone about your career options and getting some feedback from them as well. Keep in mind that you can always retake the assessment whenever you would like to. You'll just click this button and then take whichever one you would like. So if we go back to the home screen here, you'll see that you are going to be able to browse career options. So I'm just going to click on Browse All Careers. And it's going to start matching career options that I might be interested in based on the way that I answered my assessment. So you can see it's going to give me my percentage of match based on my answers. So let's say that I see education and training as a 100% match. So I really want to explore some careers in that area. It's going to break it down a little bit further for me. If I'd like to look into administration, teaching, or professional support services, I'm going to click on professional support services because that sounds interesting to me. And then it's going to start showing you specific job opportunities. You'll see the match level again, and you'll start to see things like salary, level of education required, so you can really start exploring some of your options. I'm going to click on educational guidance counselors, and here I can get a pretty good overview of what this field would look like for me. So I can see the median salary, I can see what my starting salary would typically look like, and I can also see some of the available programs that Troy University offers that would help get me to this career that I'm interested in. So if I'm looking here, I'll see that if I want to be a counselor, it looks like I'm going to have my master's degree, but I'll need to start with my bachelor's, and so it will suggest psychology for me. So I can actually click on psychology, and it will take me to Troy University's website to learn more about that field. So it's a very interactive tool for you to really explore not only career options, but also how we can help you get started here at Troy University. So I am going to turn it over to Lauren so that way she can keep talking to you about how to explore your career options.
Hey everybody, while I am about to share my screen, if you don't mind, why don't you maybe take yourself off mute for a second, or in the chat box, would you type in a major that you are interested in or a career field that you might want us to look up?
It's not letting me drag it to her.
All right. We got a few coming in. Let's see. Okay, I saw social work. I saw business, secondary. Okay, we got lots of good things to choose from. And can I use yours? Oh, okay. All right. Hey guys, sorry, a little technology. We're going over to mine. Can I use yours? It's not letting me. Okay, so let's start thinking about, here we go. Turn this camera off. And we'll go right here. Okay, so we are starting to plan our goals. So we're in stage 3, and we. Unmute. Okay, yay! Y'all know this virtual world. We're figuring it out. I really apologize about that. So let me head back over. Can everybody see my screen? Or are they seeing me? Can y'all see my screen? You see me. Okay. So I need to share the screen. Is the ball back on me? Okay. All right. Here we go. Share. And screen. Got it. All right. We good to go now? Okay. Let me get this out of the way. Thank you. All right. Here we go. All right, so we're planning our goals. So we've talked through stage 1 and stage 2, and we really want to take what we've learned about ourselves. So Ms. Reese shared values, interests, personality, skills. I cannot stress enough to you that a career is, of course, about job placement, about the job market, about job possibilities, but it is just as much about you. That fit is about career contentment. So we've got to know what we're good at, and then we've got to match that with those jobs and those career paths that are out there. So we're going to take what we've learned, we're going to piece it together and look at kind of the world of work. So we're beginning to evaluate those career options, and we want to think about what are my options in my current area or where I want to go. So let's think about the resources that we plan to pursue. What challenges might be present during our educational pursuits? What all do I need to know? What do I need? Who do I need to talk to find out more details about the job market that I'm interested in or the major that I'm interested in? And do I know myself and what I want to do every day well enough? And we don't want to put the pressure on too much. You have time, especially if you are a brand new enrollee at Troy. You have some time to figure this out, and that's why we're sharing this with you today, is we have some resources in place to help you walk through that. So it's not like you have to know right away, but you need to begin to explore all of those things. So a couple of links here that I want to share with you that I'm going to click on and walk you through. They are somewhat reflective of Career Coach that we showed you earlier. So you got that link in the chat box, so use Career Coach for sure. But if you want to check out a little bit deeper job market research data, this BLS, that's the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and they have what we call the Occupational Outlook Handbook. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to show you over here. We saw social work come in. So let's look up some specific occupations. You can put them really in either box here. So we're gonna go social worker, go. So we've seen social workers pop up right here. This is going to give us some detailed information about what social workers do. So the day-to-day jobs are just going to be in the what they do category. There's a summary here, but you may want to click on these links to give you more details. It's also going to show you in this box up here kind of the highlights, right? So when you see median pay, what I want you to understand about that is for national data. This BLS is for the whole nation. So take into account where you live or where you think you might live once you have these jobs, because this will fluctuate depending on location. But the average median pay, a couple of very important things is what kind of experience do I need? What degrees do I need? So I would encourage you to scroll through any occupations that you're interested in. And one good thing to realize is the work environment. So are you a very hands-on, extroverted person, once you know those VIPs, that's happy being very face-to-face with people all day? Or would you rather be more in a back office type of a job, a little more introverted? So there are just so many different aspects of careers that need to somewhat match up with your VIPs. But of course, everybody always wants to know about pay and job outlook. So when we're thinking about job outlook, you're going to see right here in this box for social workers, 13%, and it's telling you that's a much faster than average job outlook. So that is a good field to go into. But again, if you come see us or we do career counseling with you, we are going to look at this. This is important, but this is a partner in your personality and your interests and your skills. You're not going to be content in your career if you're only choosing it for money. So that's a little bit about the Occupational Outlook Handbook. I'm going to jump back over to the PowerPoint here, and I want to also show you the way that you can explore a variety of majors and careers through Troy's website. So if you're considering coming to Troy, then we welcome you, and we have lots of resources out there for you. So let's see, I believe I saw somebody else say nursing. Did I maybe see a biology? But from the homepage, just troy.edu, then I would encourage you to click on academics. This is where you'll scroll down, and this very first box right here, academic programs, we're going to click learn more. These are going to be all of the different majors, programs, minors, all of the different opportunities that you can pursue here at Troy. And we have a cool integration in our website that also links to job market information. So you're going to see by college, these are our major colleges here. And if you're not sure where your major lies within one of these colleges, you can click on that and you can see all of the different programs. I'm just going to show you an example though. We're going to scroll down. And let's say I am considering going into some of the hard sciences like biology. Maybe I want to be a med student one day, or I just like field biology. So when we go to the biology program here at Troy, you're going to be able to read about the program. You can actually start to apply. You can get more information. But scrolling down to the bottom, I want you to look at these boxes that say careers related to whatever program you're looking at. So this is a really neat option where you can look and see a variety of different careers associated with that major. So whether it is through Troy's website, Career Coach, or that occupational outlook handbook I showed you, look at related careers is what it's often called. So if you are going into a major that always typically works in a hospital or is a typical career, you might find some that are listed as related that you've never thought about before. So this one, for instance, I also want to show you. I'm going to click on biologist and I'm going to scroll down. It's going to tell me the core task. Of course, that's important to know. The annual openings, the median earnings, we talked about that, and you can see that it's growing. So these are really good fields to be in. And the education attainment level. So you're going to see that we start out with at least 42% have a bachelor's degree that have pursued this program. The next level is master's. So hey, that tells us a lot right there. If we're considering going into biology, we can get a job with a bachelor's degree, but there's going to be more of an emphasis on the master's degree. And then again, you can see the employment. Don't be shocked by dips in employment. That is probably worldwide. It might be due to the Great Recession. It might be due to COVID. There's going to be fluctuation, but try to look over that job market information. All right, so how to get a job. This is the number one thing everybody wants to know, right? But we want you to know that you need to start early. So being on this call is the perfect way to start thinking through this. As a freshman or your first year enrolled at Troy, let's start to really hone in on that major we're going to select. Then that summer after freshman year, let's get a job. If you're not already working somewhere full-time, then let's get a part-time job or volunteer. Sophomore year, let's start to finalize the major for sure and think about getting involved on campus and talk to your professors. After your sophomore year, let's try to shoot for a professional internship and begin building our network. Junior year, that's where you're all in. You're trying to get involved in as many professional organizations on campus that might be affiliated with your major. And then the summer after junior year, you might want to do another internship or try to get more related experience. Okay. Senior year, perfecting our resume, perfecting our interview skills. Once you are a student at Troy, you will use our career services website where we have interviewing, resume samples, all kind of stuff to help you. And then of course you can always come and see us. And then we're walking across that stage and we want during this time in our career, at our college career, to make those networking contacts. So we're walking across that stage with a job or with some really good leads. Okay, so what can we do today to be career ready? We can confirm our VIPs like Ms. Reese talked about. We want to research majors offered at Troy. Then we want to conduct what we like to call informational interviewing. This is where you speak with people in the field that you're interested in, or let's be honest, anybody that your friends and family can connect you with that is a professional in the community may have contacts in the field you're interested in. So that is how people begin to get jobs. So when they say it depends on if you know somebody or not to get a job, that is not because you were born into some special family. That is because you have put in the time to develop your network and let people know that you're searching for jobs. So you can read through these. I'm not going to read them word for word, but what you want to do is you're not necessarily asking for a job that day. You want to start early enough where you're getting to know people in the community, in career fields, in professional jobs so that they have your resume available when they are ready to hire. They already are aware of you. And then when you are doing all this, even if it is on some kind of program that is virtual like this, dress professionally. You want to put your best foot forward anytime you interact with employers and then in the workplace as well. So we want to, when we think about careers, I know it feels a little bit overwhelming. We're thinking about interviews and planning and resumeing and etiquette and all of these things. But we're here to help you. And when you're a Troy student, we have a lot of great resources to share with you. So we want to do this now. If you wait too long, sure, you'll find a job. Like you will. You'll have that degree. You'll be able to find a job, but it might take much longer. And we know that in the absence of our career planning, students that don't feel confident in their major start to get worried. They're worried about switching their major. They feel trapped in a major. They've got anxiety. Maybe they leave. We want to find the best fit. All right. So benefits of career planning while in college, that allows you time to build your network. It might keep you from switching your major too much, which, don't get me wrong, if you change your major once or twice, nothing wrong with that. But the more you do it, if you feel real lost in all that, the longer you're in school, the more student loans we often have. So we want you to graduate on time as much as possible. And you really just can dig in more. You can have a higher academic achievement. So after graduation, we want you to be on that career path where you're content and you're not what we call underemployed. We want you to be at full employment, working in a career field you're interested in. So when we put it all together, we know it's important to know our VIPs, and we want you to start using the Career Services website now and Troy's website to explore the variety of majors and programs that we offer. And you can see on there at the bottom of this slide, our phone number is listed. The best email address for us is troycareer@troy.edu if you have some questions. And you can, of course, always follow up with the survey that's coming your way after this webinar, and we're happy to help you with specific type questions about majors and programs.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much again. It looks like we do have a couple of questions in the chat box. So if you guys do have any additional questions, please, you can begin to ask those. I know that one of our questions that we received was from Frances, and she wanted someone to kind of explain to her if she was interested in pursuing a PhD program. Could you expound upon if you would need to pursue a master's level degree with a thesis or non-thesis?
Okay, I'll take that. Am I off mute? Yeah. Okay. Good question. Either. It depends on the program that you apply for. So if you do a thesis in your master's level program, you are more prepared. So it might give you an advantage, and if you are applying for a very prestigious program, a very hard to get in, a rigorous program, then yes, that may help you at the master's level. But there are many PhD level programs that don't require the master's thesis level. The Global Leadership doctoral program that Troy University now offers, of course, you have to have a master's degree to be able to apply and get in that program, but there's not a requirement that it includes a thesis option. So there's different options out there.
Okay, thank you so much, Lauren. In addition to that, I see a lot of you guys are asking how to set up a time for your one-on-one appointment, which we do have. I've included the survey. By completing the survey, you'll actually receive a free Troy gift. And then at the end, you'll be able to sign up for an appointment to have a one-on-one meeting to kind of go over your additional program-specific questions. So it looks like we have another question. So this is from Alexis. So what advice do you have for completely shifting career focus? I have B's in biology and a master's in public health, and I'm thinking about pursuing social work or counseling.
Lots of factors there. That's a very individualized circumstance. Since you already have a bachelor's degree and a master's, you have some background in what it would take to pursue social work or counseling. If you go into a certified field, say you want to be a mental health counselor, then you're going to have to take some other classes and have some other certifications. It wouldn't be as long of a journey as somebody that doesn't already have a master's degree. But you're going to have to pick up some additional classes and get some extra certifications. So factors like financial commitment, time commitment, how discontent you are in your current job. So that's kind of an individual type decision, but just knowing that if you want to be this fully certified counselor or a certified social worker, there would be a few other programs, classes you might have to sit for, certifications you might have to sit for, a little more time and money involved. So it depends on how much you want to pursue that. And we can, after this, we can connect you into those specific programs if you would want to ask about enrolling in social work or counseling and how many classes that would be and how much time.
Okay, in addition to that, I have provided our Troy University number. So if some of you guys have started your applications or you're looking to submit them or have any questions just about admissions requirements, you can contact our 1-800 number and they'll be able to go over those with you as well. They will also connect you to the correct site, so whichever campus you choose to attend for Troy University, and then they'll also admit you to the right admissions counselor. So it looks like we do have a couple more program-specific questions, but just in general, Lauren, could you explain to us a little bit further about if you chose to do a double major?
Okay, I'll actually take this one. So there's a couple different factors to think about when thinking about double majoring. There's some programs where that might be an easier option for you based on the required amount of hours that you'll need for each program. And then also some majors are going to require what we call a minor. And so that's about 18 hours of coursework in that specific field as well. So typically, if your major doesn't require a minor or is already a full set program, you're going to be pretty busy in that major. So I wouldn't necessarily suggest double majoring unless it would be of great benefit for you. So sometimes we can pair some majors together to make sense, but I think I saw one question about social work specifically. That one is a certified field, and so you really don't need a double major in that, and it wouldn't necessarily benefit you to do that because what you need is to graduate and complete and pass your certification. So those are all very specific questions that we could walk you through, and so could your advisor once you're admitted, accepted, and started taking classes at Troy.
Thank you, Emily. Another question you received was about a junior in high school. So they are looking to see what would be the best opportunities and to get the better chances of receiving scholarships.
Okay, so some scholarships are based on admission standards, so that could be a question maybe to talk to the people who would answer the 1-800 number if you have specific questions about Troy scholarships. But there's also a lot of scholarships that are given based on the major or career path that you plan on pursuing. So some of those are going to come from your local hometown. So you really need to be connected to your guidance counselors at school and any of the current staff at your school who work with those juniors and seniors who are looking to apply to college, because there's usually a lot of civic groups in your community who will offer those scholarships. So you need to be connected and tuned in and really keep your eyes out for any of that information, any postings. Usually those are going to be posted on social media platforms as well. So really just trying to keep your eye out for those scholarship opportunities. Then at some schools, once you actually apply and are admitted and are taking courses, there's still opportunity for you to earn university-based scholarships based on your major and a couple other factors and circumstances. So it's really about networking, talking to the people at your high schools, I think would be the best suggestion, and getting connected in your hometown.
Thank you, Emily. In addition to that, I know that we have a couple questions about graduate scholarships as well. Just in general, for students who are coming into the university who are admitted, you have to wait until you're admitted into the university to apply for university-specific scholarships. But once you're admitted, you'll actually be able to log into our Academic Works program. And what that does is it kind of unfolds for you all of the different scholarships we have for academics, and as well as our foundation scholarships. So those will both be available for you. We do have program-specific scholarships as well as academic scholarships. Another question is about Troy's photography courses, if we offer photography classes.
Okay, so I'm not the expert in that for sure, but our photography classes are tied into our art program here at Troy. So I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it falls into a minor or a concentration that you would be able to look at. Again, you can always look on our Troy University websites if you want to look at what's called our academic catalog. That is going to show you what specific majors and minors we offer here. Let's see. I'm seeing a couple other questions. A lot of these are very specific. So again, we'd be glad to kind of talk to you about that on a one-on-one basis, or you would still have time to figure these things out once you are actually admitted to the university as well. So I see a question about becoming a teacher. And so there's several different education options as far as majors go here at Troy. You usually do have to choose your concentration and your emphasis of study. But again, you normally don't really have to do that until your sophomore or junior year. Once you're diving into those specific classes, you would start out as a general history education major and take classes there.
I also see some comments about somebody that's been in the workforce. You were saying you have a bachelor's in communications and it was in the clinical mental health area, had 2 jobs. And so really about work-life balance, I understand that can be a struggle. So if you readmit to Troy and come back in, then we're happy to talk with you about that. That gets slightly easier with probably the older that we get and just figuring out how to balance everything. But it's never too late to revisit that and pursue your dreams. If that is an area that you really want to be in, that experience on your resume can still count. We do recommend, if it is a job or an experience that is only a few months, I would say less than 6 months, I wouldn't include that on your resume unless it was an internship or something like that was supposed to only last that long. But it's not too late to start if you know that is, or to pick that back up if you know that's your area that you're passionate about. So I would encourage you to revisit that, and you can work with your program to try to find maybe a different location. Let's see, we have somebody here talking about being a teacher, and Ms. Reese mentioned that, and y'all were talking about the African studies. Did y'all discuss that one? Okay, I'm sorry, I was reading questions. Let's see. It was for 6 years. Okay, so Laura Catherine was saying it was 6 years. Okay. All right. And Haley actually added that form on here that you can click on. Is there a concentration in the social work program?
Okay, yeah, so some questions about specific concentrations, minor areas. Every department's going to be different. This question is about social work specifically. There's no concentration in that area. You do, however, get a practicum or internship-based experience, and so that's where you could really start to narrow down who you would like to work with and get some direct experience in that field.
And let me also kind of tell you guys, one of the best things you can do is, even if, like Laura Catherine was saying, she had 6 years and was involved in that location. If you are not a person that's working a full-time job, if you have some availability, if you can go shadow someone in your career field, that is very helpful. Even if you do work a full-time job, if you can get a day, a half a day, an hour to be in the location of a job that you're interested in, it might actually, you might go, oh yeah, I love this. I want to do this every day of my life. Or you might say, oh, I don't love this. This isn't exactly what I want to do for the rest of my life. So sometimes it's about crossing some things off the list and realizing that you don't actually want to pursue those in order to end up finding what you really want to do. And then I'll also say, there's a quote out there about 60 to 70% of people work in a job or a career field that they actually didn't get a degree in. So, just keep that in mind. Achieving a 4-year bachelor's degree is a huge accomplishment and is often one of the check the box. There are exceptions. You can't be a nurse if you didn't get a nursing degree, right? You can't be a teacher, all of that. But for some of the more broad fields, if you can pursue a degree that you enjoy the classes for the most part, and you get that 4-year degree, that opens a tremendous number of doors. And then when you go to that master's program, that's a time, if you pursue another degree, that's a time to really hone in and find the niche of exactly what you want to pursue. And there is nothing wrong with working while you're taking classes. That gives you great experience and helps fund your education. Or if you're a full-time student and then you want to get a job for a couple of years before considering maybe getting another degree, that is a fantastic way to do that as well. So you don't necessarily have to, as we're talking about master's degrees, you don't have to be in school full-time to get a master's degree. Troy offers a lot of them online or part-time.
And Francis, I'll just go ahead and answer your question in regards to international admissions. So I did include in the chat box the 1-800 number. And if you call in and let them know that you'll be coming through as an international student, they will direct you to your right admissions counselor. Every master's program is going to be a little bit different, and it's specific based on what the program requirements are. So they'll be able to walk you through those. What they do with your transcripts is they send them off to be evaluated to make sure that you've met all the prereq courses for the specific program you're looking to go into. So I would encourage you to call the 1-800 number so the International Admissions Office can get you to the right recruiter, and you can begin working on those documents that are needed.
I see Laura Catherine was saying she loved the patience. It was the staff. Definitely heard that before. You found your passion though. You want to be in a serving type of a career. So sometimes jobs are about fit, not necessarily the job itself. Sometimes it's the culture, what we call the culture of the employer or the organization. That's a big deal. We can try to help you with that if you are a Troy student and are exploring different employers, but cultures of our organizations need to be a pretty good fit for you. So that all goes back to your VIPs. Do you like a competitive, I don't want to say cutthroat, but do you like that competitive environment, or do you like an environment that, or maybe it's just kind of a hands-off, they're not big micromanagers, you're very creative and flexible and can kind of do your own thing? Or do you really like some guidance? Do you like your boss to really know what's going on with you and give you guidance? So understanding those traits about yourself is helpful when you start to look at employers, which is another good reason to network as much as you can, because you're not going to be able to Google on their website and find out their culture. You're going to need to talk with somebody on the inside, or somebody that's worked there, or somebody that knows somebody that's worked there, to get a sense of what's it really like to work there day to day, or shadow in their office for a half day if possible.
Well, thank you so much, Lauren and Emily, for just going over career services with us. I know you guys do have a lot of program-specific questions, and as I mentioned before in the survey, please fill that out so you can receive your free Troy gift, and then also sign up for a meeting so you can speak one-on-one with a counselor, and they can walk you through just your specific questions. Everyone's situations are going to be a little bit different, so it's good to have that counselor that you build a relationship with so they can assist you in any way that you need. Thank you guys so much again today for joining us, and we will speak with you soon. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, everyone.